Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
I have often wondered for many years now on where it was that you get your drive from. As a proud warrior with tremendous amounts of potential, you certainly are devoted. And now I wonder what your mother and father would say if they were somehow able to see how far you've come since your planet's destruction. They would most definitely be proud of seeing how much you've evolved, but don't take it from me, since I'm only guessing. Why don't we find out by seeing what they'd have to say?
As our story opens up inside of the hyperbolic time chamber with Vegeta being shown training very intensely all by himself, as he was only from that point then being shown having to do push-ups with one finger, it was only upon having to do so where Vegeta went on to say to himself, "I'll show that Kakarot who the strongest between us truly is. If he thinks that I'm just going to sit around while he continues to get stronger, then he has another thing coming. Don't you worry," and that goes for everyone else as well, he continues. First it was Jiren, then it was Broly, Moro, and Granola, then it was Gas, and then Gohan. And worst of all, then it was Frieza, again with his black form. I will not fall behind, especially not after everything I've been through to get to where I am. I will continue to push no matter the cost, Vegeta says. I will strive to become the strongest to ever live, and I will do it my own way. We'll see which one of us finishes first when it's all said and done, Kakarot. And that goes for anyone else who dares to ever call themselves the strongest. As it was only unbeknownst to an unsuspecting Vegeta as he was shown throwing punches, where from out of nowhere behind him, a mysterious figure had gone as far as to tap his foot down, as this mysterious figure went on to utter, "Just look at him go. I almost can't believe what I'm seeing." To which in the meantime, as Vegeta was shown keeping his eyes closed in remembering his goalpost, it was only upon having to do so where Vegeta went on to continue, "My goals couldn't be any more clear, and I will do whatever I need to in order for me to reach them. And you can make no mistake about the fact that once I surpass Kakarot beyond the point of his reach, then I will strive to surpass the gods and eventually to test my luck and see if I can rival Whis as his equal one day. I'll show them, but first I need to show myself and see what other levels I can discover that go beyond my current peak of strength," Vegeta says. "To ascend and go beyond what any other Saiyan warrior has ever gone beyond before. To become the strongest that I could possibly be." But then, it was shockingly enough upon Vegeta being shown turning around midway after throwing one of his punches, where Vegeta had immediately stopped upon having to see his father right before him, as King Vegeta went on to respond, "And I have no doubt that you will indeed become everything you dream of becoming, Vegeta." What in the world is this? Vegeta asks. "No, what is this? Am I seeing things? Is the time chamber playing tricks on me or what? My father, but no, that's just not possible. You aren't supposed to be here. Is he even real?" "Relax yourself, Vegeta. You appear to be putting yourself under extreme amounts of stress in here," King Vegeta responds. "Easy now, my boy. Lower your hand. I am indeed not a figment of your imagination, for I am real and here with you. I can really feel you, Vegeta says. You're actually here with me, but how? With King Vegeta responding, I was given the opportunity by King Yama after learning of your heroism, he says. It was a way for King Yama to give back to you after seeing how much you've changed. And I will admit that I never would have dreamed of ever having the chance to see my son grow into becoming the man he was always destined to become until today. Just look at how much you've changed since you were a boy, Vegeta. I couldn't be any more proud to see how far you've come despite everything that's happened, my son. I was told a great many things about you by King Yama, and I can already see upon laying my eyes on you in here that everything I was told was in fact true. But I don't understand, Vegeta responds. Why now? So, you know about what happened since our planet's destruction? What else did King Yama tell you? With King Vegeta responding, far too much for me to go into great detail about, but being that I am here, I will see to it that I get more out of you than I was able to get out of him. That much I can assure you. But nevertheless, my boy, it is without question an honor and great privilege to finally see you again, he says. I was worried about what may have happened to you after our planet was destroyed, he says. You have grown more powerful than I could ever even dream of becoming, King Vegeta says, and therefore, you have my highest respects. From one king to another, my son. With Vegeta responding, wait, what did you just say? From one king to another? That's right, Vegeta. However, I am rather curious to see this great power that I heard so much about for myself, King Vegeta adds. No son of mine will go unchecked by his father to see if they truly are worthy of carrying his legacy on, and so I want to see for myself. I never had the chance to be there with you as you grew into becoming the man that you are today, but even now, I want to see just how good you truly are. Though our race has made many mistakes in its past, I want to make sure that those mistakes never repeat themselves ever again. And with you as its rightful leader, I want to see if you truly have what it takes to lead the next generation of Saiyans into the utopia they all deserved before it was all ripped away in its past, he says. So now show me, Vegeta. Show me what a power fit for a true king such as yourself feels like. And I won't be holding back against you either, the king says. Now think fast, Vegeta! As it was only within the quickness from out of nowhere, as King Vegeta was shown firing a ki blast directly at his son, Vegeta didn't even bother in moving a muscle, but rather instead had King Vegeta's blast go as far as to make contact by ricocheting off his shoulder, as King Vegeta went on to respond, amazing. You didn't even bother to move, and yet my attack struck you as though it was nothing. Good, very good indeed, Vegeta. That's what I wanted to see. And so now let's see how you respond to some more. To which, with King Vegeta now shown firing multiple energy blasts at his son, with Vegeta being shown deflecting each and every single one of them with simply one finger, it was only as Vegeta was then shown doing this where Vegeta went on to respond to his father by telling him, surely now you can see that these attacks of yours aren't going to have any effect on me, so is this what you wanted to see? Actually, my boy, it is. As it was only from out of nowhere with King Vegeta being shown making his way in and throwing a punch at his son, with Vegeta being shown blocking it with one finger, it was just when Vegeta was shown blocking off his father's attack where Vegeta had gone as far as to now ask him, are you satisfied with the end result now? I saw you coming from a mile away, with King Vegeta being shown backing up and responding, how truly remarkable. You are every bit as good as I was told you were, even better than I could have imagined, he says. You're extremely sharp and much stronger than I could have ever even hoped to be myself. However, I can sense something more to you, with Vegeta asking, so you were able to feel it too, did you? Yes, I did, the king responds, and so I want you to show it to me. This hidden power that I can feel coursing within you, show it to me. I want to see the full extent of what my son can do, along with witnessing the power that he possesses. If what King Yama told me is indeed true, then I want to see this legendary Super Saiyan power up close for myself. Now show it to me, King Vegeta says. And show it to the king he did, because with Vegeta immediately immediately from there being shown jumping straight into Super Saiyan, King Vegeta was baffled as to what he was now witnessing, as Vegeta had now gone as far as to tell his father, "Sure, then why keep you waiting then? Allow me to show you, King." So it is true, King Vegeta utters, that glow and that energy, the form of Saiyan legend. My son has the power of a Super Saiyan after all, but how? How are you able to pull this off, King Vegeta asks. "I was told you had great power, but I couldn't believe it until now. My son, the legendary Super Saiyan," with Vegeta responding, "Oh, don't you worry, this here is only but the tip of the iceberg compared to what I truly have, father." "Here," Vegeta says, "now watch." As it was only within the quickness with Vegeta being shown jumping from Super Saiyan directly now into Super Saiyan God, it was only upon having to be shown doing so where Vegeta went on to tell his father, "Not only do I have the power of a Super Saiyan, but I've also managed to transcend even far beyond that into obtaining the power of a Super Saiyan God. And through that, I was able to over time evolve this power into going even further beyond that too." Watch. As seconds later, with Vegeta then being shown jumping from Super Saiyan God directly into Super Saiyan Blue evolution, it was right upon having to initially reveal this form to his father where Vegeta had gone as far as to now tell him, "This is the ascended level of a Super Saiyan God, merging together the power of a Super Saiyan with the divine power of a Saiyan God, thus giving birth to something me and Kakarot call Super Saiyan Blue. Only this is my evolved variation of that called Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, the apex of Super Saiyan Blue. So now are you starting to see? But even now there is still just one more level that I've obtained that goes far beyond this one," Vegeta says, "and it's a rare power that no other mortal was able to achieve before me. A destructive power that derives solely from the gods. A destructive power that goes far beyond the power of a Super Saiyan God? Vegeta, just what kind of training did you undergo to reach these forms?" the king asks. "This is amazing." As it was only seconds later, with Vegeta now being shown revealing the power of Ultra Ego to his father for the very first time ever, it was right after initially being shown powering up into this level where Vegeta had gone as far as to tell his father, "And so now, this here is my all, a form that I commonly refer to as Ultra Ego." And yes, in case you were wondering, this power is in fact very similar to the God of Destruction's Beerus. And there's a good reason for that, Vegeta adds. "This level isn't my strongest without good reason, and therefore let me inform you," he says. "I was able to reach this level because I am a student of Lord Beerus. He was able to help push me into reaching new heights far beyond what I could have ever dreamed of achieving before. And so this is all thanks to him," with King Vegeta being shown clapping and responding, "You are indeed beyond words, and for a Saiyan warrior such as yourself to be taught and mentored by a god such as Lord Beerus is something that I cannot be more proud of, Vegeta. It almost feels as though I'm dreaming, but it's all so very real," he says. "In all my years, I knew that you would someday become everything that I could never even dream of becoming," King Vegeta says. "And you've proven that to me here today by showing me that you are not only fit to uphold our Saiyan legacy as king, but you are indeed far greater of a man than I could ever hope of becoming, my son. This day will forever mark my most proudest moments as both a father and former king. I hereby acknowledge you, young prince, as the current king of our Saiyan people. You are every bit as worthy as anyone, and so therefore I am honored," King Vegeta says. "Though a lot has changed since the days of your reign as king over planet Vegeta, I am honored for you to acknowledge me as the rightful heir to the throne, father. But there is one thing that you should know, and so you may rise," Vegeta says. "Though I never lost my ways and have always remembered who I am and where I came from, my rightful place is not with the Saiyans of the past, but rather here on Earth where I belong," he says. "We have long started a new race, one who is is just as strong and just as proud as those who came before us. And so my place will always be here to watch over and be with my family, just as once you watched over yours back home, Father. And that I know, King Vegeta responds. I am not asking for you to rebuild what was previously destroyed, but I am asking for you to keep what remains of our legacy alive. You always had the power deep within you to create change, he says, and that is why you will be the driving force to create it. And though the true spirit of our people continues to live deep within, I know all about Universe 6 and the Saiyans who inhabit a world called Planet Sadala, King Vegeta says. And so if there is anyone more fit to teach them and guide them in ways that no other has done before, that person will be you, my son. Though I don't know much about them, don't allow for those Saiyans to meet their end just as we had met our end here. You are more than just the king to those in this universe, my boy, but you are also a mentor to those who lack the proper guidance they need to discover who they truly are at their very core. You've made me proud, my son. I'd be honored to have been half the man you are, and I want you to remember that, King Vegeta says. Your journey, though, young king, has only just begun, with Vegeta being shown looking at his hands and responding to inspire and guide those of Saiyan descent. So this title isn't only to serve as king of this universe, but to also pave the way to those who exist in others? Is that it? So you know about them, don't you? Wait, how do you know about the Universe 6 Say? But then, before Vegeta could even realize it, the moment he had gone as far as to look behind him, it was as though within the blink of an eye, his father had then completely vanished. As Vegeta went on to continue, he's gone, but I have so many more questions that I needed to ask. How did he know so much about them, and what am I to do if Planet Sadala already has a king of their own? Was it to help guide their king as well? I'm still at a loss for words, Vegeta continues. My father, the king, acknowledging me as the ruling king of the Saiyans. Perhaps this is a sign of something more that I have to do. Maybe once I'm done with my training here, he adds, I should find my way in paying those Universe 6 Saiyans on Planet Sadala a visit. It's been far too long since I saw those Saiyans anyway. I wonder if this is the path that my father intends for me to walk down. But then, Vegeta's father wasn't the only shocking surprise that was just about to be revealed to Vegeta, but instead, it was from out of nowhere now behind him, where his mother had now also gone as far as to address her son by responding, my oh my little Vegeta. Look how much you've grown, a spitting image of your father. Oh, come now, don't tell me that you've already forgotten, my son. That look on your face says it all, doesn't it? It's so wonderful to see you again, with Vegeta responding, Mother, it's you, the royal queen of the Saiyans. Were you sent by King Yama as well? I don't know what to say. It's an honor. Why, yes, indeed I was, the queen responds. That King Yama has a very interesting way of looking at things, but enough with all of that royal bloodline stuff. You're starting to sound more and more like your father when you talk about it, she says. Just look at you. Look at the man you've become. I always wondered about the person you'd grow up to become, and I couldn't be any happier to see how much you've flourished, she says. Your father was always quite hard on you when you were young, but that was because he always wanted what was best for you in order to see you grow into becoming a better man and king than he was, and you have, Vegeta. And unlike your father, I was actually told a bit more about your life by King Yama before coming here, she adds. And so I know a bit more about what you've been through than your father does, with Vegeta responding, King Yama told you more about my life, but what exactly does this mean? Does this mean that both you and father can somehow be brought back? Even if your father and I were to be given the choice to come back, it would rather be for the best that we remain in the afterlife, Vegeta. Me and your father were already given our time to rule, she says. And it's clear now that our time has long passed and your time is here now. You are to become a beacon of hope and a symbol of both strength and power for the next generation, only to do more for them than what we were able to do for you, she says. I couldn't be any more proud of the man you've become and how far you've come in this world, my son. Thank you for always upholding your Saiyan lineage no matter how difficult the challenges were, with Vegeta responding, Mother, thank you. Now don't let this distract you, mighty king. There is much for you to do and much for you to teach. Let this be a reminder of your destiny and the strength you've harbored that no other warrior shares. Wait, Vegeta says, but are you and father to return again? Will I ever get to see you both after today? With his mother responding, in time, my son, but for now, continue to forge the path you walk down that will lead you into achieving many great things. Oh, and please do make sure to say hello to my beautiful grandchildren and wife on my behalf, Vegeta. I know all about your wonderful family, she says, and I'll make sure to continue to watch over them as they grow. Take good care of yourself, my boy. I will always be here with you in spirit, she says. To where once again the second Vegeta had gone as far as to address his mother once more, within the blink of an eye, similar to that of King Vegeta, his mother was then shown having to completely vanish as Vegeta went on to shout, Mother, wait! I was... Oh, thank you both, Vegeta says. I think I finally understand the meaning behind your words and why you've come. Thank you for your acknowledgement and thank you for your acceptance, he continues. The pride of our warrior race will always and forever live on through me, he says, even if I'm the only one left who stands to represent it. And once I'm done here, he says, it's time that I remind Trunks and Bulla of where they come from and who they are at their very core. And then I think it's time I make my way into Universe 6 and onto planet Sadala so that I may have a quick chat with the warriors of that world, Vegeta says, because for as long as I am able to draw air into my body, the legacy of the Saiyans will always continue to live on no matter what. As it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of Vegeta's Royal Reunion manga chapter one-off special then comes to a close. Now, what I really wanted to do when putting this story together was to emphasize more on Vegeta's past in the fact that not only would the sheer interaction between both father and son be an interesting concept, especially following the events of what had transpired on planet Vegeta many years ago, to simply get a chance to see King Vegeta acknowledge Vegeta's accomplishments in now having to go as far as to even be proud of him to say that Vegeta himself now as a son is much more than anything that King Vegeta could have hoped to be even if he lived. But not only was it satisfying in having King Vegeta go as far as to acknowledge his son, but also to be able to have the hypothetical opportunity in getting the chance to witness Vegeta's mother also go as far as to acknowledge her son as well. What I would like to know from you guys down in the comment section below is, let's just say as a hypothetical, if you were to take any existing Dragon Ball character right now and allow for them to have the opportunity in meeting someone from their past, who would you guys have meet from their past and why? To which once again, if you not only want to go as far as to support our fan mangas, but also gain exclusive access to upcoming projects and so much more, then I do encourage you all to become a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/UnrealEntGaming. The links to that will be located down in the description box below and pinned comment section below as well, as on there not only would you guys be able to download all of my soundtracks and my art, but my mangas and so many other things as well. So to that, I do want to thank all of the existing Patreon members that have been supporting me, and for the newer ones that end up joining. Again, thank you all so much for watching. To where once again, if you guys also just so happen to be new to this channel, then I do encourage you all to go on over and smash that subscribe button and give this video a big fat thumbs up by slapping that like button down below. Tune back in for more. Thank you all so very much for your time, and with that being said, I'm going to be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick, Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.